Okay guys, I'm back for part 2 of my question and answer video. And while my camera was charging because it died, I found another pet peeve that I hate. Of course, pet peeves are always things that people hate, but Nico, my dog, he drives me insane when he has to follow me everywhere. He's like always on your butt, and it just drives me insane. Like I could be walking 2 feet and he's right there. Yeah. And another complaint I have about him, and I love him dearly, so it sounds like I don't, but another pet peeve I have is his whining. He has a crate, because he is crate trained, and he still acts very much like a puppy, so we can't leave him alone for long. So he has a crate that is in the mud room, and it seems like he just knows when he should start whining. When my husband goes to work, a lot of times he leaves before me, so I'm still in my bedroom getting ready or whatnot. Nico starts whining and whining and whining and whining, and it really sucks when it's my day off, because I can sleep in and I can't when he whines and whines and whines and whines and whines, and it's like, shut up. All he wants is to be by you, and I understand that, but anyway, enough of that. Okay. Camera girl for AG Dells. What is your worst and best childhood memories? I didn't have a great childhood growing up, but that's on another topic, and not even really want to discuss too much about. So my worst would be just most of my childhood. My mom was very physically and emotionally abusive. She has changed. It's because she used to drink. She no longer drinks, and we get along great now. But just growing up, so that I just have a lot of worst times. My best times would be softball. I loved playing softball. I was on a softball team, and it was me, my cousin Kelly, our friend Helen, our friend Shannon, our friend Nikki. All of us were always on the same softball team every year. So those are like my favorite from when I was younger. Excuse me. What do you think is the most important part of a character's development in a novel? And that's by Tos Lover, T-O-S Lover. I'm not sure. The way I interpreted it is what makes for a great character development. I think that's when a character learns something, when they change, and definitely for the better. When you see that change in the book, and it's not just assumed or touched upon, but you actually see them go through the change, that's what I love. Titancia, which is Dawn, who I love, she actually asked, what is my favorite color? And like I said before, it's purple. And actually, it's funny, because my favorite color is purple, but yet, clothing-wise, red. I tend to go for red. I noticed that. It draws my eye. But yeah. Who is one character from a book you would like to be friends with? Once again, I say Maggie from Leaving Paradise by Simone Alcalez. And okay, this is the funny thing about me, and I'm going to actually have a topic discussion on this. So never mind. I'll talk about it later. But yeah, I say Maggie. Who is another character from a book whose shoes you'd like to walk in? A lot of the books, unfortunately, that I read are usually about dramas and serious issues. So honestly, I wouldn't want to be in any of their shoes, because I really don't want to go through what they've been through, even though in the end they may have came out on top. So yeah, I will definitely have to think about that one. Okay, let's see. Kels Storm 177. Have you ever found a book that has inspired you and that you apply to your daily life? Before I started reading YA, like I was saying before, I read a lot of adult fiction. I also read Christian books. So a lot of those I did try to live by. And Joyce Graham, I know, was an author that I liked. And, excuse me, there is another author, and I cannot think of his name, but he writes, and so I'm sure you guys know because it's pretty popular, the 5 love languages, or the 5 whatever languages, and I really liked that book, the 5 love languages, because it really helped, at least at the time, my husband and mine relationship. I wish I still had the book to kind of go through, because it tells you so much, a lot of things that you may not realize. So yeah, and it's not like all like about God and stuff. It's just about people, and I really liked it. DM friend 26 Dylan, I love you too. What are your favorite books that you consider underrated? Some of them, a lot of them that I like have been ones from, the last year or more, like 2009 or later. So since I'm new to the YA community, I truly don't know if they were big at the time. So I would have to say like, oh crap, Godless by Hauptmann. Oh my gosh, what was his freaking first name? My mind just went. But I don't hear too much about him, and that was a really good book that I read. Pete Hauptmann. And Melvin Burgess, I don't hear a lot about him, but he may have been big because Smack that I read is an older book. So yeah, I would say them two that I can think of right now. XXTM Jacob XX. Team Jacob. Who are your favorite villains in YA books? I can't say particular character names, but my favorite villains would be the vampires. I love vampires. I've always been a vampire person, and I was actually going to get tattoo of the teeth marks, the blood, and a couple people from my family and friends, and this was like last year, said, no, don't do that, that's really goth, and blah, 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 which each to his own, and I was just like, so it kind of made me hesitate and not do it, but that's part of who I am. Tattoos stay on you forever, but whatever. I love vampires. They're just very sexy to me, and I just love their whole mannerisms and all that stuff. So, what is one book that you wish could be a whole series and not just a standalone? And this next question I think was funny. Book that I wish could be a whole series and not just a standalone. Actually, all the books that I have liked lately have been series. It seems like a lot of books lately have been series, or are made into series and not just standalone books anymore. Gosh, what have I read? I can't even think of something I've read that is a standalone book that I've loved. I would have to look up that one too. But the next question that I laughed about, she's funny, or she, Team Jacob probably. Are you a good driver? And I don't know if she's referring to because of my accident, and I probably refer to previous accidents I've been in. I've never caused an accident before. I don't think I'm the greatest driver. I think I'm an average driver. I know there's been a few near misses with me, but I don't speed. I'm very big on obeying traffic laws, using your turn signal, stuff like that. But yeah, so I don't think I'm a bad driver. Nicole and Chris, 2002. Would you ever do a family video? Go ahead and message me or comment back if you can, and explain a little more on what you mean, like a family video, like where I show off my family members. If so, that would be great. Except for my husband and my son, do not like to be in pictures on camera, anything like that. Yeah, so that probably wouldn't work too well. Do your children love to read as much as you? My daughter does, but since she is young, she's 11 years old, she does get distracted with hair and fashion, her friends, and then she has school, so she doesn't read as much, but she can pick up a book, and she will be into that book, and she's very good at just focusing on that book. And and she will, you know, if her friends call, not talk to them because she is into her books. So, so yeah, she really likes to read. She's just not as into it as me because she's got so much other stuff going on. Do you like to buy your books online or a bookstore? Oh my gosh, online for sure, 100% yes, because bookstores just cost too much to me. Like, I always wonder how people can go to the bookstore and buy their books when you can get them so much cheaper online. I guess part of it's because you just want to have it in your hands now. But yeah, I mean, I know, at least by my house, Barnes & Noble and Borders, their hardbacks are still full price. If you go online, you're getting them for, you know, $7, $6, $5 off. So, you know, nerdy to the 10th degree. I like that name. If you could choose any book to be turned into a movie, what would it be? Right now, Lockdown, because I really like that book. What's your favorite movie of all time? It has to be the musical Grease. I just absolutely love that movie. Is there any specific book which got you into reading? Not that I can remember, because I've been reading since I could read. Any specific book which got you into YA reading? The first couple of books I started reading in YA was actually before I really got into YouTube, and that was Fallen by Lauren Tate, An Abundance of Catherines by John Green, and Beautiful Creatures by Margaret Stoll and Cami Garcia. Those three I specifically remember reading at the beginning of 2010, but I don't want to say that those were the ones that got me into it, because I still went and read adult fiction for a few months after that. So I truly can't remember the first book I read, though, that really kept me on the YA thing. If you were stuck on a deserted island and could only bring 3 books with you, what would they be and why? If I can only bring 3 books with me, they would definitely be reference books or art books, because I'm not a rereader. But like art books, like the what is it, Big Eye art that I got with all those pictures in it, I could re-look at pictures all day. And reference books, it's, you know, I could keep learning and learning. So those would be my 3. Like reference books, more like facts that you might not have known, or weird things that you might not have known about, stuff like that. Let's see. Kamikaze Strawberry asked me, when buying a book that has been turned into a movie, do you prefer getting the one without the movie theme cover or with? Oh, definitely without. I hate, and I hate is a strong word, so I completely dislike books that have the movie covers on them. I don't like them. I will not get them. Book covers, to me, are an art unto themselves. And it's not, the book was written before the movie. You know, if that makes any sense. No. Definitely without the movie cover. OTEP Fan 87. What is the most amount of money you spent on books at one time? $90, which actually I'm sure is not as bad as some people. And that was book closeouts, and that was my first order from them when Christoph from Cubicle Blindness introduced me to them, and I got carried away. So yeah, that's the most I've spent at one time. That was on my own money. Christmas, my husband spent $100 on me on Amazon. I actually ordered the books and everything, but yeah, that was his money. Who are your top favorite bands? I don't listen to music too much, but Disturbed, I love Disturbed. Metallica, like the older Metallica. You know, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets. I even like Metallica, you know, Black, the album. Bad Company, AC/DC. I like more classic rock. Who else do I like? Oh, there's somebody else that I like, and I'm not going to think of it now for the life of me. It's, I don't hear it around. Yeah, Spellbound is a song that they sing. The lead singer is a chick, and she like screams through some of it, and I don't like that screaming stuff, but a lot of it is, you know, like normal singing. Oh, I can't think of it now, so I'm sorry. Is there one book that you think everyone should read? What is it? I have Columbine by Dave Collin. I mention that quite a bit because it is such an intense and such a deep book. You get into the heads of these kids that killed the students at Columbine back in 1999, I believe it was, April 20th. And you get inside them, and you get a glimpse into what they were thinking in that. And it's just, I guess maybe because I have kids, I have teenagers, that some of the things that you may not notice, it really says something. And Dave Collin really wrote that story really well. Forever Book Fanatic. What book got you into reading young adult fiction? Okay, we talked about that. Can you remember the first book you were absolutely obsessed